Hey all, welcome to ShareTreck. This is Raj here, and this is our pre-market outlook for 9th of September 2024. Let's have a quick look at the markets and see where we are going and what's likely to happen. And before that, here's a little disclaimer. Welcome back, and here are the headlines for today. And the very first one that catches my attention is that the Dow futures jump more than 200 points as the market rebounds from the worst week of the year. And in this case, I would like to point out to this particular chart out here. As you can see, this is the Nasdaq, this is the VanEck Semiconductor ETF. But what I want to show you is actually the Nasdaq chart. I will take QQQ as a example, and this chart has got monthly candles, and even at a monthly level you can see that there is lots of ups and downs. Let us switch on to a weekly basis, and as you can see here, any progression upwards, even though we are in a bull channel, is not always straight upward. There's a little bit of coming down and then going back up and so on. So there's a zigzag movement. So if we were to look at this month itself, it's been totally a downward trajectory, but on a daily basis you will see that we have got red days and we have got green days. We have got days when the price is moving up a little bit, and then we have got days when the price is moving down a little bit. So I would say that having had a very bad red candle in the last session, we could have a little bit of dead cat bounce. This may not last for a longer time because we need to have something fundamental happen in order for things to change. And now, talking about fundamental, there is this theory out there that even though the market earnings expectations have been met by Nvidia and most of the big 7 companies, and also future projections have been pretty good for earnings, still the market dropped. It was not expected to drop. So there is this feeling that probably there are big money operators or hedge funds who are taking the profits in advance, and that is quite a possibility. And maybe as retail investors we are behind the curve. So let us look at the time frame out here, and I'm just going to recalibrate this chart so that it shows properly. So if you look at this chart out here, and let us say we are in 2024 January, so we would have been here on the 3rd of January 2024. And let me take a measuring widget from here, which is the 3rd of January 2024. This is the 3rd, and so we were here, and then we went all the way to 29.99% gain somewhere around 11th of June 2024. And that's when I think maybe the big money and maybe hedge fund guys and all of those people were thinking probably that things are looking really good and we haven't had it so good, so why not lock in the profits? And that starts this whole process of prices dropping. And then we are very close to this long-term bullish support line on 5th of August 2024, and at that point the brakes are applied, and then we end up with a gain from that point onwards all the way to 22nd of August, a gain of 14.58%. And again, let's lock the profits. So things are starting to come down, and now we are at a very critical support. I'm just going to expand this chart a little bit and recalibrate the chart so that you can see it clearly. So at this point of time, we have already broken down below the 200-day exponential moving average, which is this white line, and we have broken down below the line of support, which I had pegged at 449.717. But if you look at the line out here, I think I'll just readjust it a little bit and bring it a little down. So we are exactly at a place where we had a resistance before in at least 2 points of contact, and what happened in the previous trading session. Today we are out here almost 0.88% or $3.91 above the last horizontal support that we saw. But still momentum is weak and it's dropping, as well as the MACD is bearish. So the question is this a dead cat bounce or is it for real? Now, at this point of time, I would like to change the color of these lines of resistance from green to red, because that's what the color should be. So our next resistance is going to be on 460.97. So if we were to follow my original plot where I said that there are two possibilities, one is we come down to the resistance at 474.19, and then we'll bounce back up and we'll check the resistance at 487.20. That did not happen. So the next possibility was that we may come down and we may test this support at 448.67 and then try to go back up, and in the process we'll test the resistance at 460.97. I think that scenario is still in play today, and we'll have to see at the end of the day whether we get a trend reversal today or things are still going to go down south. Then we have to go to the economic calendar, because the core inflation rate reading for month over month as well as year over year, and the inflation rate reading is going to come in on the 11th of September, and that is a big piece of information, and that could move the market. So we have to wait until Wednesday to see what happens. So we could potentially experience a consolidation until Wednesday while the market decides what to do. And of course, then on Thursday we have PPI month over month coming in, and on Friday we have the Michigan consumer sentiment coming in, and the following week after that we have the retail sales coming in at 8:30 a.m. and somewhere in here in the near future we have the rate cut that will be announced by the Fed, and all those things are huge catalysts. We have to watch out for them. But having said that, let's go and have a look at the market. What the hell is happening with the market right now? So if I was to look at the Nasdaq futures, we are already up 0.85%, and that's a decent amount. So I'm thinking today is a dead cat bounce day. I'm going to change the color of this to red because this is a resistance out here. It acted as a support before, and if I adjust this, then I have to change it back to green because now it is still a support. I've adjusted it based on these 4 touch points out here, and these are aberrations. So we'll have to see if we stay above the support of 546.25 today for Nasdaq futures. Now let's go to QQQ. QQQ is up 0.83%, and it's still above the support out here. It's neatly above this support, and it's up $3.73, and we'll have to see whether our momentum starts turning around and picking up, because this momentum is not going to support positive readings in the market. And then let's go and have a look at our AI sector. We'll start with AI today and then go on to genomics. In AI, you can see that Google is up 0.93%. There is nothing in the chart structure that indicates anything bullish. The only point I would like to make is that once the momentum has dropped so much and the RSI shows that it's oversold, then what's going to happen is that it will bounce back up again. So there is that possibility that we have a dead cat bounce. Tesla, again, the same story. It's up 1.57%, and the momentum is just dropped below average. Tesla is still looking stronger than the other stocks that we have seen so far, but we have plenty of resistance in the chart out here, and I'm just going to change the color of the resistance so that you can see. And our next support out here is going to be at 208.09, and the next resistance is going to be at 212.11. So we could have a narrow range bound trading today. We'll have to see what happens there. Apple is up 0.44%. That's around 97 cents pre-market, and momentum is still below average, and MACD is still bearish. And if I was to look at this whole structure here, and is that there's a potential for a reverse head and shoulders. This could be the shoulder, this is the head, and maybe there's another shoulder forming, but it's not a done deal, because unless we start seeing rising trends out here and unless we form a neckline, it won't be a head and shoulders. And then we have Meta, which again is up 1.12% pre-market, but momentum, RSI and MACD all are absolutely negative. And we have Amazon, which is up 1.40% pre-market. Again, momentum is below average and it's dropping. It has to pick up. MACD is bullish, but it's trending towards the signal line in a bearish manner. And both are weak signs. Microsoft is up 1.21%. And you can see that the momentum is already low, and our next support out here is 399.89. And if we go to AMD is up 0.98% pre-market, and we have the momentum which is below average, and it is still dropping. And MACD is also bearish, and this has to be fixed, because without that we can't have a persistent upward trend. So I don't think AMD is looking strong either. Then we look at Palantir, and Palantir is up 6.63% pre-market. This is a very, very strong move up, and it's quoting at 32.34. So I think Palantir is one of the strongest stocks that we are seeing today. And if you look at this long-term chart, you can see that Palantir is on a bull channel. So things are looking great for Palantir. And I will go to FNGU, which is one of the things that I'm looking very closely at. And I can see that the momentum is below average and it's dropping further. And we are also having this MACD, which is absolutely bearish and moving away from the signal line in a bearish manner. The FNG is looking very weak, but if the MAG7 are going to start moving up, then we have to see FNGU also moving up. FNGU in pre-market is up 2.91%, and that is a very strong upward movement for FNGU. It's a lot of dollars out there, so we'll see what happens out here. But in the meantime, before I move out of this chart, I'm going to kind of correct these bullish support lines into bearish resistance lines, and our next resistance today is going to be at 342.54 for FNGU, and right now in pre-market we are at 326.01, and the time is 6:54 a.m. on the 9th of September. So that's what we have out here, friends. And Broadcom again is up 1.1% after having dropped significantly post earnings, and we also have Nvidia which is up 0.47%, not a resounding bounce, but a minor jump over yesterday's or Friday's closure. I don't know if it's going to be able to keep it up, because momentum is weak and MACD is also very bearish. And on the other hand, FNGD, which is the reverse, is down 3.40% pre-market, indicating that there is a bullish trend today in the market, at least momentarily, which could be a dead cat bounce. It could also be a trap for bulls, because they may think that the trend has changed. So I would like to wait and see some of the resistance being broken and retested successfully before putting any more money into the market. And one stock that I'm going to be looking at is Nvidia, so that I could add up a little more, and I'm going to see how Nvidia proceeds, and I'll have a video on it later during the week. That said, let's go on and have a look at genomics. And in genomics we have Bluebird Bio without any trades pre-market. It's been very bearish and it is dropping further despite having 3 approved therapies which have been monetized. PACB is down 0.63% pre-market. It was up yesterday, and IMTX is up 2.30% after a good gain yesterday. So this is a solid 3-soldier pattern where it is a bullish pattern moving upwards. So we are most likely to retain the challenge of 11.78 and convert 11.78 into a area of support. Right now we are at $12 for this stock, so we already converted this line of resistance at 11.78 into support. So I'm just going to change the color out there, and we'll have to see that this remains a support for us. And next we are looking at Ginkgo Bioworks, which is up 0.05 cents, and DNA is a penny stock which was reverse split, and now when it was reverse split it was at around $7 plus, if I'm not mistaken, and it has dropped significantly since then. And Prime is has got no trades before the market open. Allogene has got no trades before market open, and Iowa is up 0.10% or a cent before the market open, and it's got a lot of headwinds out here. The 9-day and the 20-day exponential moving average are the first point of resistance, and we also have resistance at 10.88. Just changing the colors of these resistance lines so that it's true to what it is. Then we have Beam Therapeutics, which is up 19 cents pre-market, but the stock is looking very weak on the charts, and it has got resistance at 25.10, and I would say that it also has a minor resistance at 24.32, where the last 3 candles have not been able to exceed that level. Intelia has got no trades pre-market. Editas has got no trades pre-market. Altimmune is up 10 cents pre-market, that is 1.61%, and the next resistance for it is the 9-day exponential, which is at 6.49, and the 20-day exponential, which is at 6.54. Both MACD and momentum are looking really bearish at this point of time. Caribou has got no trades pre-market. CRISPR Therapeutics is up 0.78% or 35 cents. Pre-market it's at 44.97. I would still be waiting to see if it can test 42.84 and rebound before I make any investments out here, but I'm closely watching it. I'll have a separate video on that for you later on. Bionanogenomics is up 2 cents pre-market, and ARCG is up 1.07% pre-market, that's around 27 cents. I think the MACD as well as momentum do not give any confidence that this is going to be maintained. And then we have Grail, which is up 1.81%, and that is around 23 cents. So it is still, the price is still below our resistance, which is at 13.13. So I'm going to mark this 13.13 resistance as red color. Well, let's look at Illumina. We have the line of support out here, which I have adjusted to show that the price had fallen below where we were yesterday. So now this is a new line of support, the new bear channel, and if I extend this further out here, you can see that we have got 2 touch point right now. So having seen the fall of the price so much, I am thinking that I would like to take a new approach to this line of support. So I'm going to change it so that we have got multiple touch points, and this is my new line of support for Illumina. So I'm thinking that the Illumina share can fall further going forward, even though it is up $1 today. Let us see what happens during the end of the day. Our next support is going to be 122.95, which happens to be the 50-day exponential, and then the 200-day exponential, and after that we have the 100-day exponential. So those are the 3 support lines that it has to break through. Right now momentum has dropped sharply, and MACD is also very bearish, so it doesn't look great. Verve is up 0.09% pre-market. I don't see the chart being very strong to sustain this bullishness. And then Vertex, of course, there is no trade pre-market at this point of time for Vertex. Well friends, that brings me to an end of today's pre-market outlook, but I'm working on another video both on CRISPR as well as NVIDIA. It will be a joint video for CRISPR and NVIDIA. I'm going to talk about some concepts about why the market fell. It's my theory based on everything that I've read so far, and also what's going to happen next and why it is difficult to point when the trend will turn. So with that information, you will be able to form your own judgment on when we could see a trend reversal. So watch out for that video later today. Thanks and have a great day. Bye for now.